discuss any merits. And if I may ask, Kurt, am I correct in making this? Kurt, Bolsa?
Yes, Speaker, usekhona-ke. Alright, ndiyeke ndigqibe ndisene-10 minutes. Speaker, nanjengoba sisitsho, bekatsho siyaliqaphela futhi uba kuzo zonke into zilapha. Into kaCouncillor uMarlene Barnard azikho apha. Kutheni zingekho? Kukho ezabathile apha enibakhangelayo. Ikhona into erongo eniyenzayo, Speaker. And loo nto mayiqale ngoku ukulungiswa. Ningasiphatheli izinto zonke ke ezo zinto sithi mayiphele loo nto leyo ukwenzela okokuba ngabana kweli bhunga senze umsebenzi wethu. Ngoku nibuyisa izinto because niphele izinto zokwenza. Nantsi i-service delivery idinga ukwenziwa. But eyona nto ngoku nifuna uba nisibizela yona kweli bhunga kukuxoxa izinto ezidibene neento zamachuku. Kukho abantu eningabaqhukeleyo. So lena into siyayirejecta totally. Asifuni noyibona and neza recommendations asifuni nozibona. Sikule umcimbi waba bantu nisoloko nisemva kwabo. So siyayirejecta, asiyisupport le into. Total speak. Yabona? And then ke sizawufaka i-counter proposal ndizayifaka ngoku. We reject. Thank you.
Can I have a translation, please?
As Speaker, we as the ANC are not happy about this item. Maybe you know why it is here again. Let me state that in all these items, there are names that we do not see, just like my Marlene Barnard is not on this list. There is something fishy going on here. Something not right is happening here. Maybe you have other reasons for continuing with this item. We need to try and do things better than this. We need to focus on better and important items. Service delivery is waiting. Other important items are waiting to better our communities. As an organization, we reject this item, and individuals have been targeted. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person to speak on the item is Hamza Goeieman. You have 2 minutes.
Speaker, sorry, wie moet nou praat? Goeieman.
Correct.
Speaker, baie dankie. Speaker, ons voel dat as die PA dat sekere mense word getarget. PA dat sekere mense word getarget. Correct, soos my ANC vriende gesê. Ons voel nie dis reg nie. Ons voel dat daar is sake wat hangende is. In die ruling party, die DA geleedere wat nie na vore kom nie, en dan hierdie sake is 10-1 voor die saak van Mr. Ndaka. So ons weet nie hoekom hierdie witch hunt nie. Ons vra dat dinge tog in 'n transparant wyse gedoen word, dat dinge tog equal gehanteer word en dat dinge voortans nie hier toegesmeer word en daar oopgevlek word nie, maar dat ons dieselfde toegewydheid ook kry op ander geleenthede waar die oppositie dan nou die mense wie sake klaar voorgekom het, wie klaar voor disciplinaries verskyn het, maar dit kom net nie by die council uit nie. Dat dit tog so gebeur, dan sal ons miskien 'n bietjie fairness sien in wat gebeur, maar ons stem nie saam met wat gebeur met Mr. Ndaka. Dankie, Speaker.
Can I have a translation, please?
Thank you, Speaker. The council is saying that as the PA, they also agree with the previous speaker that there is a targeting of some of the people here, and that is not right. The outstanding cases that relate around the DA were not being dealt with in the same manner as the other cases. Specifically, the one of Councillor Ndaka, which is being pushed, whereas the other ones are not coming to the council. The PA is proposing that everybody be treated equally, and then the cases of the other party, which is the DA, must also be pursued with the same figure as the ones that are being pursued on the other parties. That is to improve fairness. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. The next person to speak on the item is Councillor Gertze. You have 1 minute.
Yes, Speaker. We as the PBI take note of this item, but there is a clear double standard in this council. When the opposition speaks, you act fast. Discipline, threats, and processes follow. But when a DA councillor is found guilty of interfering in administration, you go silent, Mr. Speaker. You hide behind procedures. You hide behind closed doors. You hide behind virtual meetings. This is not imperative. This is protection. Table also this matter before council. Apply and without delay. If you do not, you confirm that accountability in this council depends on political affiliation, not on principle. And the PBI will not accept it. Thank you.
The next person to speak on the item is Councillor Kampi. You have 2 minutes.
Of time, this is quite clear that you are busy chasing after the opposition regarding their behavior, while there are issues of councillors regarding cases of money mismanagement, yet they are not brought forward. You are busy protecting them, and whenever there are cases of councillors from the leading party, you always put them on confidential agendas. But whenever it's opposition, the public must see so that they can lose hope and they can see failure in the leadership of the opposition. That shall not happen, because people outside there, they know the truth, they know the fact. DA is busy losing words, yet you are busy here exposing opposition. Opposition are taking words. If you are the true leadership that conducts themselves with better behavior, with good principles, then stop losing words and face the fact that you may sin and paint us as bad people, but outside there, the people know the facts, know the truth. We are not a bad leadership here. You may keep an exposure. We're going to keep on behaving the way we want to behave, because things are not done accordingly to the way you want them to be done. So you cannot criticize our behavior, because the reason people are behaving from the opposition the way they are behaving, but they are not happy with things, how they are done and how they are being conducted. So we're going to keep on behaving the way you are behaving, because things are not being done properly until the DA leadership do things accordingly and not write things on black and white as if they are smart and good enough. Yet through implementation, things are not good. And yet you must come here and clap hands and want us to smile and be happy. We shall not do that. We will not be here be dictated how do we must behave as the leaders. We are being appointed by the people. They trust us, so we're going to behave the way we see it is right and fits for the council, for this leadership of DA to do things accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a counter proposal, which I'll read later. Can you? The next person to speak on the item is Councillor Alderman de Toy.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I second the proposal made by Councillor Neethling. Thank you.
Thank you very much, councillors. We have a counter proposal in the chat box. Councillor Mdaka, there's no seconder to this. Who's seconding your proposal, please?
Okay. I will second the proposal of Councillor Mdaka. Thank you.
Councillor Gertze. Councillors, we have a counter proposal in that it says we reject this item. We request it be taken off. 2, the allegations must be withdrawn. And 11 item counter proposal. We're therefore going to vote for or against the counter proposal. With that, councillors, I'm going to ask Rosemary to take the voting, and I'm going to reiterate that the vote is for or against the counter proposal, which states we reject this item, we request it to be taken off. Number 2, that the allegations be withdrawn. Rosemary, please go ahead with the voting.
Councillor America.
Against counter proposal.
Councillor Barnard.
Against the counter proposal.
Something wrong with my sound now.
She said against, Rosemary.
Thank you. Councillor Barnard.
Against the counter proposal, Rosemary.
Councillor Brown.
Councillor Rosemary, I see that a number of them
Yes.
also in the chat box, so please take note of the chat box. It seems that some of the councillors have problems with their microphones, so please take note of the chat box as well, please.
Thank you, Speaker. Councillor Busa. Councillor Keraules.
Yeah, 4. No, dat ken ik gehad in Busak is 4.
Councillor Clark. Chippington, am I audible? Because
You are audible. You are very audible. As I said, I think a lot of them are having troubles with their microphones for some reason. So please keep an eye on the chat box.
Councillor Kuris.
Councillor Curry 4.
Councillor Cronje.
Cronje against.
Councillor De Tooy.
Against.
Councillor Edwards.
Edwards against.
Councillor Eso is not present. Councillor Edie Vergland.
Against and Rose.
Councillor R.G. Vergland.
Against the counter proposal.
Councillor Fry.
Against the counter proposal.
Councillor Gertse.
I am for the rejection of this, please.
Councillor Goeieman.
4.
Councillor Gom. Councillor Greg. Sorry, he's on leave. Councillor Gregory.
4.
Councillor Greef.
4, Auntie Rose.
Councillor Goldie.
He Gultig against.
Councillor M. Goldie.
Against.
Councillor Hani. Councillor Jantjies.
Against counter proposal, Madam.
Alderman Johnson.
Against the counter proposal.
Councillor Kaptein. Councillor Kleinans.
4.
Alderman Kretzinger.
Against. Alderman Kruger,
I'm against. Thank you.
Councillor Keat,
Oh, thank you.
Councillor Lebany is only. Councillor Lentu,
Goedemiddag, maar ons praat van die twee items number 11.15 and 11.16. So I 4.
Councillor Losi, I couldn't hear that one.
Hoor maar. Oh nee, ek. Okay, dankie.
In the chat box. It's in the chat box.
Thank you. Councillor Low,
Oh, Rosemary.
Councillor Mandela,
4.
Councillor Masasi,
Against the counter proposal.
Councillor Etim Daka,
For the proposal, our people must be set free from the chains of slavery. Thank you.
Councillor, thank you very much.
Councillor F. Daka,
Rosemary, Councillor F.M. Darker can't actually vote against this or
Sorry?
for it. Councillor F.M.
Sorry?
Darker Councillor F.M. Darker should actually have recused herself from this, and she cannot vote on this
Speaker,
item.
refused where? We are not in the council chambers. Refused where? And why also?
Councillor
Because we're
Lente,
not. If you were in the
Councillor
council
Lente,
chambers, Speaker, Leicester as
Councillor
a
Lente,
Leicester who Leicester refused where? Because we're not in the council chambers. You read.
Councillor Lente, as the chief whip of your party, I take exception to the way that you are talking to me. It is absolutely disrespectful. First of all, you are disregarding the rules of order. And the fact remains is, in accordance to the rules of order, your councillor should have brought this to the in the declaration and said that she was in an item, which she did not do. And now she's in this meeting while we are busy voting. She cannot vote on an item which involves her. And again, I'm going to put it on record that I take objection to the fact that you are talking to me with a disrespectful manner completely. As a speaker of this council, I have the right to bring you to order. And the way that you talk to me is very disrespectful. So once again, I'm going to say that Councillor Mdaka should have recused herself from this meeting for this item. And she should have declared it at the beginning of this meeting, which she did not do. And that is now on record. So Rosemary, if you could please continue. Thank you.
Councillor Mkhuli,
For the proposal.
Councillor Neetlen,
Against.
Councillor Niaus,
Niels against.
Councillor Tondini, sorry. Councillor Kampe,
Uyaphendula.
Oh, Marose.
didn't hear Councillor Kampe now. Oh. Councillor Katana,
It's for Marose. I can hear you didn't hear me.
thank you. Councillor Katana, Councillor Roofse, Councillor Cyphers, can't hear anything. Councillor.
In the chat
Sim-
box.
Thank you. Councillor Summers.
Against counter proposal, thank you.
Councillor Snyman.
I'm against, thank you.
Rosemary.
Alderman
Rosemary, sorry.
Stander.
Rosemary.
Against Rosemary.
Councillors.
Thank you.
Papers.
Councillor Toto.
Councillors.
Rosemary, Councillor suffers.
We just call Councillor Suffers to order. You must put it in the chat box,
Can
Speaker.
Councillor
Thank you.
Saffas not interject?
Councillors, I'm busy trying to sort this out. Councillor Suffers, please put it in the chat box. Rosemary, can you continue, please?
Oh, Councillor Blacks, then I put.
Councillor Toto.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm voting for.
And your name?
My name is Councillor Toto.
Alderman van Niekerk.
Against the counter proposal.
Councillor Ndondini in favor.
Alderman von Brandes.
Against Rosebery.
Councillor R. Foster.
For Rosemary.
Councillor S. Foster.
I am for the counter proposal.
Councillor Windwy.
Against Rosebery.
Thank you, Speaker. I'll just check the chat box also quickly. Just give me a chance.
I'm waiting for you, Rosemary. When you're done.
Speaker, I do the best as I could, and it's in those in favor, I've counted 16. Those not in favor, I've counted 29, and abstentions is 5.
Just my count was 19 for and 29 against and 1 abstention. But needless to say, irrespective, it does not change the outcome. We therefore, the item is carried as presented to council without the amended proposal. Thank you very much, Rosemary. We'll move on to the next item then, please. Item 11.16. At this stage, I must intervene, as I did mention it in the previous item, that because this item is about Councillor Kampi, I'm going to ask her to recuse herself now that it has been mentioned, and I'm therefore going to ask that Councillor Neetling continues his 3 minutes, please. Sorry, Councillor Neetling.
Thank you. There, now we're back.
I apologize for that.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I propose as recommended. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak on the item is Councillor E.M. Darker. You have 4 minutes.
Speaker, thola kanjani hlele kunini. Speaker, thank you very much for this item. Just like the last item, we don't like this, what is happening. This harassment, whilst you've got people in your own party, that their names doesn't feature here. We're not going to run away from that. We're going to mention it again. Selamalin Panat is not here. Why is that? And Speaker, I'm not sure you come with the right verdict on counting. You said 19, so you've got 3 on your side that voted with us. Thank you very much to the 3. Speaker, we say these allegations and everything must be taken off again, so that our people can work free. Because when you look at this, that you call them the conduct of the councillors, you are the cause of those things. Just like now, we've been struggling. And when people will stand up, then you come because you know you've got the right to charge people, which is not right. You are not here to charge people. We are here to work for the people. Our communities are waiting. They are waiting for us. Here we are busy discussing petty fights. So when we say to that, stop that. Stop that. At least when we close in this term, take that attitude and put it away. And the other thing is, you find out that even these teams and everything, they cause things. And then when we want to raise our concern, then you come and say, now we've got no good. We don't do good. We are acting like hooligans, and then you charge us. So it must first start with you, because you are the cause of all these things. Because when you go and check and what happened, you are the person who provoked people, knowing that they will react. Apparently not react, respond. But because we use this tone, we are born with this tone when we speak. We are born with these tones. We were not born to be softies. We are born as a hard people, hardcore people. So we are using our machines. So please take all this off, and then these allegations should be withdrawn. And I don't know what's the problem, because you're always after women, and which is not right. It's not right. Those matters deserve to, when they are finished with the meeting, and look after their babies. This stress that we are giving the people, they take it to their children. And then now our families become broken because of you, Speak. Because of you. If you want a good behavior, you must start and then treat us as adults and as people who've been referred by our constituencies. We are here to work. We are not here to be Jat Mahlanga or what. We are not in Mahlanga Commission here. We are in the council here. We need council things to happen in a right way. Because even the ink you are writing this is the cost of our people. Those toners, you must write things that are right. So, Speaker, this again, we're coming with a counter proposal. We reject this. Stop doing or taking our people to be in chains. In chains. Yeah. So we are here. We've been sent. Let us be democratic and let the people voice their messages. Don't treat us like this. 5 years, you should be tired. You should be tired of treating us like this. So,
Thank you, Councillor. Your time is up. Thank you very much. Can we move on to the next speaker, please? Councillor S. Foster, you have 1 minute.
Speaker, councillors, ek wil saam met my collega's saamstem dat dit is 'n absolute skande dat ons hierdie items en hierdie aanklagte moet nog even entertain. Daar is councillors of 'n councillor van die DA wat ook ondersoek was en dit is al verlede jaar gedoen. En daai ons wag nog steeds as die raadslede van die raad van die George Municipale Raad vir dit om in die raad te dien. Nou my vraag is, Speaker, u is mos die Speaker of Council. U is nie die Speaker van die DA nie. So al wat ons wil weet, wanneer kom daai staakie ook in die raad? Die PA verwerp ten sterkste die aanklagte teen ons collega's. Dit is nie reg wat hier gebeur het. En die mense van George, dis hoekom hulle en oral in die Weskaap, dis hoekom hulle so panies by die ballot box. Dankie.
Thank you, Councillor. Can we have a translation, please?
Speaker, the councillor is saying that he agrees with his fellow colleagues that it is actually a shame that we would have the council would have to entertain these charges today. And he also then says that there was a DA councillor whose case was investigated last year, and they're still waiting for the matter to serve at this council. So please, that you need to deal with that one also. Then they also then says that where is that or when is that case going to come? Because the PA rejects all of these other cases because it's not actually a fair process. And that the community is seeing what you are doing today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the translation. The next person to speak on the item is Councillor J. Gertz. You have 1 minute.
Speaker, the PBI rises with serious concern regarding the clear lack of fairness in how this council is being managed under your authority. And it was already addressed by the PBI in the questions. It was already by opposition parties. You are entrusted with the responsibility to act without fear or favor. Yet, we are witnessing today, it's the exact opposite. Today, you move swiftly to change and bring an opposition councillor before this council for an alleged breach of conduct. Yet, within your ranks, sits a DA councillor implicated in a serious criminal matter within conduct that brings this institution in disrepute. And what actions do you take? None, Speaker. Instead, that councillor is shielded. You hide them behind laptops, protect them virtual meetings, and keep away from a public accountability. This is a blatant double standard.
So your time is up. Thank you very much, Councillor. Your time is up. Thank you. We'll carry on with the next speaker. Councillors. Thank you. We'll carry on with the next speaker on the item. Councillor Alderman de Toy, you have 1 minute, please.
Speaker, thank you very much. I second the proposal made by Councillor Neethling. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's another counter proposal. I don't see the seconder for that. If somebody could please just put in the chat box who's seconding the counter proposal.
The PA is seconding that, Speaker. Thank you.
Can you put a name to that, please?
That is Councillor Foster from the PA.
We have a seconder officially on the chat box, Councillor Lento. We're going to continue then, Rosemary, with the voting. We are going to once again vote against or for the proposal, the counter proposal. I'm going to say it again. We are going to vote for or against the counter proposal. Rosemary, you may continue.
I'm using Sir Nobody's laptop now. It seems as if I've got problems with my sound. Councillor America.
Against?
Councillor Barnard.
Against the counter?
Councillor Brown.
Against?
Councillor Busak. Councillor Carolus.
It's for.
Yeah, Carolus is for.
Councillor Clark.
Against?
Councillor Kuris.
Councillor Kuris for.
Alderman Cronje.
Cronje against?
Alderman Du Toit.
Against, Rosemary.
Councillor Edwards.
Councillor Edwards against.
Councillor Edie Vigland.
For.
Councillor Gregory.
For.
Councillor Greer.
For anti-Rose.
Councillor D. Gultik.
Against.
Councillor M. Gultik.
Against, Rosemary.
Councillor Hani.
That's my one.
For. Councillor Yankees.
Against, Madam.
Alderman Johnson.
Against.
Councillor Kaptein. Councillor Kleinhans.
For.
Alderman Kritzinger.
Against, Rosemary.
Alderman Kruger.
Against. Thank you.
Councillor Keat.
For.
Councillor Lemony. Councillor Lento.
For.
Rosemary, just 1 second, please. Could you please make sure that you're not counting people that are on leave or absent from the meeting as abstentions, please? Because apparently, if my memory serves me correctly, Councillor Lemini is on leave today and not in the meeting. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Councillor Losi. Did I hear Councillor Losi?
In the
Councillor
chat
Lau.
box.
Sorry.
I think it's in the chat box. He's in the chat box.
Councillor Lau.
For.
Councillor Manuele.
Kale tuba uthengiseni mawukanye man. For.
Councillor Masasi.
Against.
Councillor E.T. Mjaka.
For the unchaining of emotionally and spiritually and psychologically for our people. That is for. Thank you.
Councillor F. Mjaka.
Jimlona Ross, di-4 kaloku njani sana 4.
Councillor Mkuli,
For the proposal.
Councillor Neetling,
Against?
Councillor Niels,
Against?
Councillor Ntondini, Councillor Kampi,
Councillor Kampi can't vote for
But why
herself.
Kampi? But Kampi speaker said she must not be here.
Exactly what I'm saying. Thank you, Councillor Mdaka. I am correcting Rosemary myself. Thank you.
Councillor Katana,
Against Rose.
Councillor Roose,
Against.
Councillor Cyphers,
Against Rosemary.
Councillor Simmers,
Against.
Councillor Snyman,
I'm against. Thank you, Rosemary.
Alderman Stander,
I'm against Rosemary.
Councillor Toto, Alderman Van die Kerk,
Against the proposal.
Toto is for.
Alderman von Brandes,
Against Rosemary, against.
Councillor R. Foster,
For.
Councillor S. Foster,
I am for. Thank you.
Councillor Van Wyk,
Against Rosemary.
5 reis toe gaan kyk.
Speaker.
7 skool toe gaan kyk.
I'll wait for you, Rosemary.
Jadi gooi se breed pak, ons vat 'n breed almal. Dan weer vrees is gewoon net. Fokus.
Lekker vra vir 'n kokes.
Iemand se mic. Laat my.
Is hy so? Enough is
Speaker, I've counted those in favor 20 and those not in favor 29.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. Just to confirm, those in favor 20, those against 29. The counter proposal does not carry and the original proposal then carries. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 12, motions or proposals deferred from previous meetings. Item 12.1. Council, I believe there is a request for a 30-minute caucus. I will have to adhere to it, and I'm therefore going to ask that we have a 30-minute caucus. We will resume at 10 to 4, and therefore this meeting is adjourned until 10 to 4. Thank you very much. 30-minute focus for good. And I'm now going to ask Councillor Kit if they are back. I'm going to go ahead with the next item. And the item is item 12, motions or proposed meetings. Councillor Kit, I'm going to ask you to read in your motion, please. Am I audible?
Yes, Speaker. Councillor Kit is indicating her mic is disabled.
No,
It is able. It is
Yes,
able.
thank
So
you.
continue, please.
Can I start, Speaker?
Councillor, that is what I said. You may continue. You can read your item in, please.
Speaker, I rise to table a motion for the renaming of PW Water Boulevard. I request that the motion be accepted and duly tabled for consideration by Council. I will now read the motion as submitted. Speaker, PW Boulevard remains one of the most prominent public honors in George, associated with an apartheid leader whose legacy is inseparable from repression, exclusion, and the denial of fundamental human rights. Council has a responsibility to ensure that public spaces reflect constitutional values, transparency, and seeks to initiate a lawful and inclusive process to consider an appropriate alternative name. In light of the above and recognizing Council's responsibility to uphold constitutional values, promote social cohesion, and act in the public interest, it's recommended that Council resolves as follows. One, that the George Municipal Council formally acknowledges that the continued public honor of PW Botha through the naming of PW Botha Boulevard is inconsistent with the values of human dignity, equality, and non-racialism enshrined in the Constitution. Two, that Council initiates the official process to consider renaming of PW Boulevard with the express purpose of removing the public honor associated with PW Botha in alignment with the applicable municipal bylaws, provincial guidelines, and national regulations governing geographical name changes. Three, the administration is requested to A, facilitate a public participation process that is inclusive and accessible with deliberate outreach to communities historically excluded from symbolic decision-making and in compliance with all applicable municipal, provincial, and national procedures. B, invite alternative name proposals that reflect democratic values, social justice, unity, local contribution, and shared community heritage. C, where existing municipal bylaws or policies are outdated or insufficient, apply the most current applicable legal frameworks and submit recommendations to Council for any necessary policy updates. D, table a comprehensive report to Council outlining the public participation process undertaken, input received, and recommended options for Council's consideration. 4, Council requests that any decision regarding the retention or renaming of PW Botha Boulevard be made transparently with clear reasons provided to the residents of George and in accordance with the established municipal processes. 5, that Council affirms that public spaces and infrastructure should reflect the values of a democratic society and contribute to inclusivity, dignity, and social cohesion. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. The first to speak on this item is the coalition. Are we going to oppose it or going to allow the motion? I'm going to ask, is this motion being opposed or is it being allowed? Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Councillor. And councillors, and you wonder why I mute you. There is no respect for anybody in this council meeting. Mayor, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Councillor Clark will respond on this matter in the motion. Thank you.
Councillor Clark, you may continue.
Speaker, good afternoon, and to the listeners. Whilst we understand the motion brought before us today, it is equally important that we recognize and respect the processes that govern such matters. This motion, as presented, seeks to involve council and councillors in what is fundamentally an administrative process. For this reason, I rise to oppose this motion, not on the basis of its merits, nor as a dismissal of the historical context or injustices associated with the current street name, but purely on the basis that the correct processes has not been followed. Council has been asked to acknowledge the motion, and we have done so. We therefore take note of it. However, acknowledgement does not equate to bypassing established procedures. There is a clearly defined process in place, which includes mandatory public participation. This is not a step that can be overlooked or expedited through council. Our residents must be given the opportunity to engage meaningfully and have their voices heard. By bringing this matter directly before council at this stage, undue pressure is placed on councillors to take a position without first consulting the communities we represent. Furthermore, this matter falls within an administrative mandate governed by an existing policy. It is important to note that the very policy guiding street name changes forms part of the department in which the councillor bringing this motion served as a mayoral committee member. Therefore, Speaker, I formally submit a counter proposal that this motion be opposed at this stage and instead be referred back to the administration to follow the proper legislated process where this responsibility rightly resides. I thank you.
Thank you very much. It is opposed by the speaker. The next to speak on the item, therefore, it goes into debate, will be the ANC. If the ANC can...
Speaker, thank you.
Your microphone is open.
Speaker, can you hear me?
I can.
Thank you. Speaker, I rise with a very sad heart today in this meeting because here we are said to have two processes in one process. One, when the councillor wrote the motion, he wrote it to council. Now then, the response of the ruling coalition is that there should be two processes in one process. One should be that there's a council process that says that we are opposing this because of you've got numbers in council. At this, it should be referred back to administration. Now, I think somewhere there's miscarriage of justice in this. We acknowledge the fact that there's history in this South Africa of us. All of us, we belong in it. Black, white, Indian, colored. But at the same time, as when we're in government, where we say that we are post-apartheid, we must be open to change. Whether you've got a history of Jan van Riebeeck or you've got a history of Malcolm, but make space. Now, my suggestion would be that, or could have been that, of let us entertain this first. Let us explain to one another in a form of a workshop, because since I came here, was never a workshop about name change in council. Now today we are faced with the name change, and yet it gets, because I can say it's ridiculed by saying that we are opposed it, and it's not properly entertained. Now it must go to a name change committee, where we ever inform that when there's name change, there's a name change committee here, Who's the name change committee? Were they ever introduced to these councillors? The answer that you're going to get from the majority of us, it's no. But today we are told that we oppose this. No, I suggest that, or as the ANC, we suggest that let us give this a very sensitive attendance to it, or let us attend it with the kind of importance it requires. The name PW Porter does not sit well with some of us, even here as councillors, even with myself, born in the year that I was born. But does that mean that PW Porter did not leave a particular constituency that resides within George? He did. The question is it just 35 years after apartheid that we must still have such reminders that somebody was once a president and ordered a shoot to kill? It cannot be. So we must sit down here, all of us, black and white, and we discuss these things. And not only PW Port and many others names that we think are not good for our town anymore. We cannot pride ourselves and say that we've got a town that is a center of attraction when it comes to tourism, but we are still reminded of PW Port. Who do I say who's PW Porter to my kids? What values did he espouse? Apartheid, segregation. We cannot be. We can't have black people that are leading this town, the likes of your mayors and the Mako, and still they cheer when they say PW Porter. Even a non-white stands up and say, I oppose to this. What do you oppose to? I'm disappointed in the TA. Thank you.
Very much. The next to speak on the item is PA.
Speaker, Speaker, en almal wat my stem kan hoor. Die PA is baie ook geskok vanmiddag om te hoor dat in die eerste plek toe daar gevra word wie gaan praat, hoe lyk dit vir my die DA's onseker oor wie gaan praat. Nou dit is 'n absolute skande dat ons nou nog apartheidskonings aanhang in 'n nuwe demokratiese Suid-Afrika waar ons moet ontslaa raak van hierdie name wat ons terugvat in plaas van vorentoe. Dis 'n absolute skande. Dat ons we gaan terug na die councillors, hy verwys na die prosesses is die reg gevolg en dan noem sy public participation. Maar in die motion van councillor Kiep maak sy tog melding daarvan dat hierdie hele naamverandering moet teruggeneem word na die public toe, dat die public participation kan plaasvind. En hier praat ons nie van public participation by een saal met 10 wyke nie. Ons praat van public participation waar elke wyk die reg tot opinie het om te sê hoe hulle voel oor die naam PW Botha. As 'n mens gaan kyk aan jou ouma en jou oupas en luister aan die verhale wat hulle vertel onder die jare van apartheid, dan is dit nog vir my baie duidelik dat ons mense 'n hondlewe gehad het onder die apartheidsregering. En omdat PW Botha 'n president en 'n leier was van hierdie ewel in Suid-Afrika, is dit net reg dat die raad vandag besluit om hierdie naam te verander. So almal, laat ons dit sommer op rekord sit, dat die wat voel, die naam moet nie verander nie, dat hy persone, die publiek moet dit weet. Die publiek moet dit weet, maar as die PA sê ons, dat die naam behoort glad nie meer in ons samelewing nie, en ek sekondeer die motion, dat hy moet serve, en dat ons die naam verander. Ek sê weer, ten slotte, dit is 'n skande, dat 'n blinde dame, wat onder die apartheid uitkom, so item sal indra in die raad in, en haar opinie lig en sê, nee, die korrekte kanale is nie gevolg nie. Net in plaas van te sê, yes, I agree. Soms moet 'n mens leer om jou opinie te lig in plaas van stil bly teen goed wat u weet verkeerd is. Baie dankie, Speaker.
Waar is Rosa?
Can I please get the floor? Councillor Kit, can you put your microphone off, please? Thank you.
Mag ons maar praat, speaker?
When the other microphone's off, you may talk up until at such time. Councillor Kit, your microphone.
Speaker.
Thank you very much. Now you may continue, PBI.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. We as the PBI in fully support of this motion to be served in this council. Reason being, the name PV Botha must fall in this town. It has no place in our democratic South Africa. PV Botha was not a nation builder. He was a central figure of an oppressive apartheid regime that caused immense suffering to the majority of South Africans. Under his leadership, countless communities were brutalized, silenced, and denied their basic human rights. His legacy is not one of unity or progress, but of division, fear, and injustice. We cannot claim to be building a united, forward-looking country while still honoring names that represent pain and exclusion. Keeping such a name in our public spaces sends the wrong message, especially to those who continue to live with the scars of apartheid. This is not about erasing history. It's about choosing what we celebrate here. We must replace this name with one that reflects the values of a democratic South Africa: dignity, equality, and shared progress. A name that inspires future generations and honors those who contribute to building a better and inclusive nation. South Africa belongs to all who live in it, not just a privileged few. It is time to let go of the symbols that divide us and move forward with symbols that unite us. PV Botha must fall. The future of this country must rise. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. I'm going to give the opportunity to the Freedom Front Plus, who also want to say something.
Speaker, thank you very much. I've listened to what's been said. So allow me a couple of words. One of our leaders said, never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again, listen to it carefully, will again experience the oppression of one by another. That was said 32 years ago by President Mandela in his inauguration speech. There's other phrases that I can refer to as well. He also said, I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination. I've cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. That comes from the mouth of Nelson Mandela. Now, it appears to me that some of the speakers here was not even born when P.W. Botha was state president of this country in the previous regime.
Order, Speaker, can you raise order?
Councillors, nobody interrupted you when you were talking, councillors.
Not interrupting. We must not be given wrong history. It's wrong.
Councillors, I find it extremely concerning that during everybody else's talk, nobody said a word. I've left these microphones on with a reason. Not one single person made any mention or interrupted anybody. And now when this person is talking, we are interrupting this person on the floor. And I have to protect him as much as I protected you. Comments were made by everybody. And I'm going to ask you, please, I have tried to do this in a very dignified manner, despite the actions of certain people. Councillor Lento, I see your point of order. I need you to put your point of order in. I see your point of order. I need you to put your point of order in the chat box. I want to know what your point of order is, please, before we continue. Councillors, the rules are clear. You put your point of order in the chat box. Councillor Lento, I'm not going to let you say, and I'm not going to let you say, and I need to take my discretion as a speaker to know what your point of order is with the rules of order and which point you're raising on, please, before I continue. Councillor Lento, I'm going to ask you for the last time. Otherwise, I'm going to let this Councillor Alderman Fanika continue with his. I'm waiting for it. Councillors, please bear with me. And the public, please, I'm waiting to hear what the point of order is. And please remember to put the item of the point of order in there, please. Alderman van Niekerk, I ask your indulgence for this. I'd like to get this thing sorted out before we continue, please. Councillor Lento, Speaker, you can control Alderman van Niekerk. He was Nelson Mandela. He was Dr. Nelson Mandela, not Mandela. Okay, point taken. Alderman van Niekerk, the reason for the objection is that you are referring to a previous leader as purely Mandela. I'm going to ask you to continue your discussion and name Dr. Nelson Mandela for future reference, please. Thank you.
Speaker, I will do so, but I want to note it that then the reference to P.W. Botha should be His Honorable P.W. Botha, being a state president of this country at some time. But let me talk to you about Dr. Nelson Mandela. I met him in person in 1998. I've got the deepest respect for him. He is a pillar of reconciliation. And I'm not talking here today to make excuses for any injustice in the past. And if anybody here think that my community, and I'm talking about the white Afrikaner, did also not suffer at the hands of other communities in the past, then you must go revisit history. In the beginning of the 90s, Botha was the very first of the previous regime leaders who stretch out to Dr. Nelson Mandela as far back as 1985 already. In him and Dr. Nelson Mandela had a high-stake interaction culminating in a secret, although surprisingly, meeting on the 5th of July, 1989 at Tuinhuis in Cape Town.
Alderman, sorry,
Yes, sir.
could I just interject here? And I have to interject. I'm terribly sorry, but
please,
we need to talk to the motion, and I understand
Indeed,
that
sir.
you're very passionate about it, but the
Yes.
motion is asking for the name change.
Indeed, sir.
I believe if we can get back to the point without being disrespectful, can we get to the point of whether this motion
We
should
can,
carry?
Speaker,
Okay.
I'm getting to the point. So what I'm
Okay, thank you.
saying is that Dr. Mandela and His Honorable P.W. Botha, they started talks which has become the South Africa that we are today, not His Honorable President de Klerk. During the course of 1998, President or Dr. Mandela paid a personal visit at Wilderness to His Honorable P.W. Botha. They were not enemies. Both of them had probably most reason. Now, if you look at what is happening today, or what is the situation or the reality today, today we see in George that P.W. Botha Boulevard feeds Nelson Mandela Road. Now, I'm telling you, let's take a step back. You can say you're not here for a history lesson. I don't care. You're talking about history when you besmirch the person of P.W. Botha. So let's talk facts. Where will you find a better example of reconciliation than P.W. Boulevard feeding Nelson Mandela Road? You must realize one thing: minority rights are enshrined not only in the Constitution of South Africa, but it also in the Bill of Rights of the United Nations. We cannot forever live in the past and think we can build a better tomorrow. Heroes that you admired might not be admired on the same scale by minority communities. They also got their values. And if we don't respect each other's values, how can we ever respect our own values and expect other to respect same? So think again. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman. I take your point. We're going to move on to the next speaker, and that is good. You'll speak at the end as it was your motion. You'll have the reply. EFF, you can speak. I'm going to ask one more time, EFF. Sorry. Just 1 second, sorry. Councillors, I don't see Councillor Kampi in this meeting, and I've just checked now. So I'm going to move on to good. I've just checked the attendance and who is in attendance, and Councillor Kampi is definitely not on her own computer, as she's not in attendance. So I'm going to move on to the reply. Good. Can you please finish this up so we can move on with the meeting, please?
The legacy of a man who ordered the killing of Black South Africans, a man who was responsible for untold suffering. Speaker, P.W. Botha was a killer. He gave orders to kill, to oppress, to enforce a system built on fear, exclusion, and brutality. And yet, some councillors here today come and choose to preserve his honor on our streets. You should not hide behind administration and do not hide behind procedure, because this motion already provides for public participation. Your argument here today is not about process, it is about avoiding accountability. This is apartheid defense in plain sight, because initiating a process costs you nothing, but it demands something far more difficult. The courage to break with a past that still benefits some while it hurts others. And today, you should be ashamed because you refuse. You cannot claim to stand for a non-racial democratic South Africa while actively voting to preserve the public honor of a man whose name represents oppression to millions of people in this country. Speaker, that is not neutrality, that is a choice to protect comfort, a choice to protect privilege, and a choice to protect the status quo. So let the record reflect that when you, the DA, the ACDP, who is supposed to be a Christian party and uphold Christian values, the FF Plus, the DA, and the ACDP you chose, when you had this opportunity to take the first step towards justice, you didn't hesitate. You stood in the way of justice today, Speaker. And history will not remember your excuses. It will remember that when confronted with truth, you chose to defend an apartheid leader. Shame on you.
Thank you, Councillor. We have councillors. Councillors. I can hear everybody listening there. That's fine. Councillors. Now that we've got order again, there is a counter proposal that the process is, the motion is opposed, and that this item goes through the relevant steps as opposed to shortcutting it. If I may just, Councillor Clark, could you please put your counter proposal into the chat box for your objection so that we have it clearly, and then we'll have to vote, please. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. I expect the counter proposal in the chat box, please. I'm waiting for the counter proposal. Councillor or Alderman de Toy, you have a an objection to the fact that Councillor Kit said that the ACDP is supposed to be a Christian party and have asked her to retract that. Councillor Kit, I'm going to ask you to retract that as in accordance to the rule of order, you have somebody feels that they have been belittled, and I'm asking you to retract that officially, please. Councillor Kit.
Members is a Christian party. That's why you said it.
Councillors,
Speaker.
you mentioned that the ACDP is supposed to be a Christian party, and they've and
Speaker.
okay.
I'm not sure what
okay,
you want me to retract,
I've
Speaker,
actually
because
just heard.
what
I've just actually heard
I've said,
somebody
and
in the
I'm not
background
going
saying that the
to retract
ACDP,
it.
the process where this responsibility rightly resides. And I'm therefore going to ask, and there is a seconder by Councillor Clark, which says that is exactly what she said, and therefore we are going to go over to the voting for the counter proposal or against the counter proposal. And Councillor Kit, I will take on your point of clarity when you write it in the chat box, please. Rosemary, could you please go over to the voting once again for or against the counter proposal, which says that this item should be referred back and taken through the proper channels?
Councillor America. Councillor America.
Okay, Councillor Rosemary, just 1 second. Councillor Kit wants to know what we are voting for. Councillor Kit, your proposal, basically, the way it is understood is that the council makes a decision on the process, on the name change. The counter proposal says that the process be followed and it gets referred back, and that should never have been brought to the council directly, and it must go through the necessary processes. So, Rosemary, if you
Can I speak, please? Oh, it's my motion after all.
I proceed, Speaker.
Councillors, we're in a voting situation. Can we please continue with the vote?
The Speaker, before we start with the voting, I'd just like to have clarity. I don't understand now. What is this counter proposal suggesting? Because the same things that they are saying, I've said in my motion. So now they putting here things that we don't understand. How long is this process going to take that this counter proposal is stating? It's easy to say go to administration. We are saying start the process immediately. So that counter proposal, is it saying immediately, or when will that's what they proposing? When will it start? We want public participation, Speaker. We've said it in the motion.
Are you quite finished, Councillor Kit? I have not recognized your hand yet. And if you'd let me talk, I would actually answer you.
Speaker, but we can't start voting if I'm not clear, if we are not clear on what we are voting on.
Councillor, if you put your mic off, I will explain to you once again. We are voting for the fact that this motion is withdrawn from here and sent to the relevant administrative processes, and that it does not belong in council. That is what the vote is for. The vote is, the counter proposal is that it gets taken out of council and sent to the relative. It can be done immediately once you take it to the administrative processes. That is the nuts and bolts of it. But it does not belong to come straight to council. That is what the counter proposal is saying. So we are voting
Speaker,
Councillor Kit, we've gone through the motion. You've had your
But that
turn
is
to talk.
exactly what
Okay,
my motion says. Because
Councillor,
my motion says it must go to the administration, the process must start. So I don't understand what is being opposed.
I'm going to ask before we go into the voting section. I need to get advice on this because clearly there is a misunderstanding of some sort, and I don't know how to put it more clearly to you. So if you give me 5 minutes, let me just go and get some advice, and then I'll come back to you. Can we just please adjourn for 5 minutes, and then I'll come back. take over, explain proposal for stand.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, very much. Yes. Councillor put in a counter proposal. Now, the reason for the counter proposal, and this begs the following question. This motion came to council while there's a clear bylaw in terms of the process of name changing. In this item, there's the absence of info where the council did submit changing to the department planning dealing with this. Specific council was at some stage also the MMC of that. So it is expected of the council to rightfully understand and know the processes when there's a request for name changing. Firstly, must be a policy. There is a bylaw that deal with name changing of street names, name changings of different roads and places. That policy exists. Bylaw exists. So the question is expected council, unless council explained to council, she tried and that process failed. The council review and look into that matter. For that reason, this person should never have been here unless it's been used for other reasons other than the process of a name. It's the case that the platform has been used to gain score points. It's a very George. And for this, put a council. This is not the motion coming. The platform red channel is to go to the planning department in terms of policy that is at hand to follow that to go to allow participation and therefore from the public, and then that item should come to council for final consideration. That is the procedure, that is the bylaw, that is the policy that currently exists. So the reason why we're opposing this is because it should have never been here unless it's been used for political platform and gaining some sort of political support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope that clears that.
Thank you, Alderman. I'm going to make a ruling. I'm going to ask Councillor Kit. I'm going to give you 2 minutes that you understand what the mayor has said. And I'm going to say there, we're to voting. I'm not going to explain any more on this person who brought the proposal. The counter proposal is now and as per that Councillor Kit said she didn't understand. She now has clarity, I hope. Councillor Kit, if you could please get the reply, and you've got 2 minutes to put this into end.
Speaker. Okay.
The 2 minutes has started, ma'am.
Oops.
Councillor Kit? Yes, I've given you 2 minutes. You may continue, please.
Unfortunately, I still don't have to speak. So not clear what exactly the DFF plus P coalition is opposing, because and if you, I suggest the mayor to understand the motion, what is already stated in the motion. I don't understand what you're doing here. Speaker, why I was the medical certification, which this very same mayor agreed with, was a proposal for a name change for PW Botha. He was in session, Speaker, and the previous councillor already, my because you.
Councillor, I'm going to make a ruling here because this is a question of he said, they said. Councillor, I know you're mute. I muted you. That this is the ruling that I'm going to make. The counter proposal say, I'm going to reiterate for the last time, Councillor, this item does not carry and that it processes. Leave. I've made a ruling that this is not to be a voting session before council, that the counter is vote or against. I want no further debate on this. I'm asking, please, that item now, we've been talking about this for almost 45 minutes. So I'm going to ask that the counter proposal is there. Everyone has had to talk about the Rosemary, I'm going to go to vote.
Speaker, we proceed to vote.
Councillor Kit, I've made a
please,
ruling.
Speaker. No,
Councillor Kit,
no.
don't say no to Councillor. I've made it. Okay. Seems to be the thing nowadays. I've made a ruling. The counter proposal we are voting for or against. So please, Rosemary, can you go through the voting and Councillor Kit, you've had your right to reply. How many times would you like to reply? You've actually replied to a reply, and I've now made a ruling. So we're going over to vote, please. Rosemary, go ahead.
Councillor America,
For the counter proposal.
Councillor Barnard,
For the counter proposal.
Councillor Brown,
For the counter proposal.
Councillor Busa, Councillor Carolus, Councillor Clark.
Sorry, Speaker, can you unmute the people, please? Before you continue, you may proceed.
Everybody is. I'm listening to you, Councillor, and your mic is unmuted.
Rosemary.
Yeah, Speaker.
Ready for the counter proposal.
Sy word na die komitee.
Immediately. That's
Councillors,
what we said. That's what our motion speaks to.
Councillors, the Kit, I'm giving you a warning. Continuously. Councillor Darker, please. Get us any further. I'm speaking to Councillor Kit. You have said your say. We are busy voting. Thank you. Councillor, we're in a. Please. Thank you. Can we move?
Speaker, why don't the IDs assist the people?
May I proceed, Speaker?
No, Rosemary, because unfortunately we have people that are interrupting, allowing the process to continue. I have called a vote. Therefore, no further discussion on this item will take place, either for or against the counter proposal, please. Councillor Darker, I'm going to ask you to put your hand. Councillor, we are voting.
Speaker, I wasn't sure. Councillor Busak must just indicate he's either for or not in favor because he had a long saying there. So I just need to know.
Councillors, can we ask you to please keep it to the point? You are either for or against. Do not confuse the matter by giving it half a speech. You are for the or against the counter proposal. Councillor Busak, clarity.
Speaker.
Can I speak?
Speaker.
No, I've made a rule.
Speaker, listen to me now very carefully.
Okay, Councillor, I don't like it. Councillor, I don't like your tone at all. I've made a ruling, and please don't tell me to listen to you very carefully, Chief Whip.
But
I have-
listening
and-
carefully is better than naming stupid inside of the council. It's
Councillor Ndaka, I'm going to give you your second warning. I've asked you not to interfere while we're busy talking. This is why you get your warnings, because you don't adhere to the rules of order. Councillor Foster, I have not recognized your hand. There is in the chat, I can see that is to the fact that we are, so please refrain from taking any further discussion, please. Can we, Rosemary, I'm going to unmute everybody to please continue with it.
Okay. Councillor Busak. Councillor Carolus. Councillor Clark. Speaker, am I audible?
The mics are muted, Speaker.
Mics are not muted. I'm looking at the microphone and they're not muted. I don't understand. I don't know, playing around with the microphones because they are not muted. To unmute you.
Must I start with again, Speaker?
Yes, not over. Thank you.
Councillor America.
to refer back to the application.
Sorry, are we voting because there are noises?
Yes.
Councillor
I'm also for. Sorry, I'm confused. Voting
Okay.
now?
Okay. Can we all start from the first person once again?
Councillor America.
For counter proposal.
Councillor Barnard.
Counter proposal.
Councillor Grant.
For the counter proposal.
Councillor Busak. For. I'm not sure. Councillor Carolus. Oh, not in favor. Speaker.
He
I'm
said
not sure.
four.
And I don't want to.
I understood it as four to bring back.
Sorry, Speaker. The opposition will refer back administration.
Oh, refer back.
So they agree with us, Speaker.
Yeah, they're making this a lot. This is becoming a lot more difficult than back means for the counter proposal, which is what we're saying is the counter proposal.
Speak say it all the time. Your counter proposals is
Councillor,
directly to motion. So I'm sure what we are voting on here, Speaker, because this mockery.
Is referred back because it seems as though we've all had our say and we're not getting anywhere with this motion. You may.
Speaker, I think due to what is easier, Kate or vote chat box. Everybody is in the chat box way, and fill this motion. Time it's
I
referred to this
understand.
meeting.
I'm going to make that ruling. So everybody that's in this meeting, indicate vote box. We'll take. Thank you. Councillors, I believe I've given enough time now for the voting to take place. We were in a voting process from literally, if I go back in the clock, since 16:55, that's 10 minutes. Everybody's had time to vote. Rosemary, could I please have the outcome of the vote? Rosemary, could I have the outcome of the vote, please?
Speaker, I've counted those in favor. I don't know if I see 27.
27 for against
Speaker,
for the counter proposal.
Can you hear me, Speaker?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Rosemary.
Am I,
You are audible, Rosemary.
Speaker, am I audible?
Yes, Rosemary.
Okay, I've counted those in favor 27. Speaker, I wasn't sure. So those councillors that indicated phrases there, I didn't count them. So I'm not sure. You must indicate to me now what to do with them.
Okay.
Whether
okay. If a councillor has made it a speech which I've asked him not to, and it's confusing, then obviously I cannot take it as a proper, it's a spoiled ballot, as it would be done in any voting situation. So can you give me the number for people that categorically stated against?
those I've counted 27.
No, listen to me. For, you said 27. In other words, for the counter proposal, Rosemary, listen.
Those
correct.
4 yes.
Okay, and
Speaker.
against the counter proposal?
Nobody indicated that they are against the counter proposal, Speaker. That's why I only indicated to you now those that indicated that they are in favor.
Okay, Rosemary, with Chief Whip, I see your hand is up.
Speaker, according to my knowledge, we've got 3 councillors absent today. Apologies. So if we take 27, that is a majority if it is unable for Rosemary to count the rest.
Chief Whip, that is exactly what I was going to say, is that there's a majority of 27, regardless of what the other votes were. This counter proposal therefore stands, and that concludes that matter. And
Speaker, sorry.
Yes. Yes, Rosemary. Rosemary, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Speaker.
You said something, you wanted to talk to me.
Okay, yes, I've just in the chat box, it was indicated now there's one councillor that's against the proposal.
Okay, the voting has finished. I gave them 10 minutes to do the voting. So therefore, I'm going to now conclude that the motion does not carry, and that the counter proposal then be recorded as the motion in this item. I'm therefore going to continue with item 13, which is new motions. We have none. Matters at discretion of the Speaker, we have none. And urgent matters by the municipal manager. Mr. Elman, did you have anything that you need to bring to council?
No, nothing additional besides what's on the agenda, Speaker.
Thank you very much, councillors. That brings us to the end of the open ordinary council meeting. I'm going to ask for a break so that the YouTube channel can be broken and that we can have a body break before we continue with the pretty lengthy confidential items that are waiting for us. So I'm going to ask that we reconvene at make it 5:20. That gives you enough time to get something to drink, body break, and then prepare for the confidential items. Thank you. We'll reconvene at 5:30.